While on a journey of physical and spiritual healing, a brilliant neurosurgeon is drawn into the world of the mystic arts. Yes, that's right. Just ahead of the release of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we're taking a look back at the original 2016 film. Let's jump into this.
Ooh, V2.
V2. Yes, you are V2. Welcome
2.0.
to... I should have put 1.0 and then 2.0 with you guys. God damn it. Anyway, welcome to Geeks with Kids, the Geeks podcast. This side of Carmitage. I'm your host, Mr. Doctor. I mean, Eric. I'm joined by Dave, Hawk, Marcus, and Shows. How's it going, guys?
You. Good.
Good. Good
times.
Good.
Yeah. We're lovely.
You know why it's good? Because I watched Doctor Strange for the first time in like 5 years. 4 or 5 years. It's been a long time since I've seen Doctor Strange.
Really? Has it been that long since you watched it?
Yeah, I think I watched it the year it came out, and then another maybe 1 or 2 times with Megan and then my parents, and then I didn't watch it again. So
I think like Doctor Strange was one of the few Marvel movies that I would kind of repeat once in a while. Every once in a while. I really enjoyed it.
It is very good, and that's why we're talking about it, because we're a week away, like I said in the intro, from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, we thought we'd get together, revisit this film, and chat about it. But, before we do that, we do one thing every week. We like to spend time chatting with each other, what we like, what we enjoy, what we're, fanboying on. So I asked, what's good? Now I'm going to go with Dave last, so I'm going to go with Shells first. What's good, Shells?
Right. What is good? Okay, so I got 2 things. One of them I'm sure you've already spoken about on a previous episode.
No, we don't talk about you. You're like Bruno on this podcast.
You actually don't exist when we don't see you on Discord.
My Steam Deck is awesome. I love my Steam Deck.
This thing is Eric's got to go grab his now. Oh, there he goes. Where's mine? Where's mine? You can't shine me.
They're measuring their decks.
Yeah.
Yes! Unfortunately, they're the same.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's such a cool device. I'm having so much fun with it. And
totally. I'm totally playing with my Steam Deck here. Really.
Oh, you got the light version. There you go.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like I've been screwing around with some retro emulation stuff on it. I've been playing with some getting some non-supported stores.
What are you using as your emulator thing?
I'm using Emulation Station with RetroArch right now.
I'm using Emo Deck with Emulation Station.
With ROMs of games you legally enjoy. Are you legally?
It's all ROMs of ones that we own. Yes,
of course.
Yeah. I backed up from my original copies, and then I put it onto my 256 gig SD card, which is full of
sense.
Legally owned stuff.
Exactly.
Backups.
But it's a fun little device, and it's so unique, like sort of for what it is, like actually being a handheld computer that they're sort of letting you play with without restriction.
How's your fan?
It's loud.
It is loud, right?
Yeah, it goes,
just to let you know, iFixit has tweeted saying that they're getting fans in. If you want to change your fan up. So
put like a quieter fan in.
Yeah,
maybe a magnetic fan. That'd be cool.
That'd be neat.
How easy is it to change out that fan? To do those like mods?
It's actually very easy. I should have filmed myself doing because I took out my hard drive and I put in a new one. And
nice.
Oh yeah, you should have filmed that. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I have this.
Yeah, I would have wanted to see that.
I have this little dinky ass hard drive sitting here.
Holy crap! It's so tiny.
Can you put that in a thing like a little enclosure?
I don't know. Like it's a 33 it's so 3380. Cute. I'm gonna probably put it in my like my old desktop computer. I think it takes it. So
that's cool.
Just put Windows on it. It's 64 gigs. So I'm like, whatever.
Why not?
Yeah.
Can you fit Windows on a 64 gig drive?
I think you can. They have a light version of it. Maybe I'll put Windows 11 on it. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, my Steam Deck.
Yeah, so that's gonna be my what's good, because I've been having fun playing with that.
Steam Deck has been my Stardew Valley.
Okay,
you can play that on so many handhelds already.
I know.
It runs really, really good on the Steam Deck, and I saw that Eric was playing it the other day, and I was like, oh, Stardew Valley on this thing. Let's see what it's like. And I just started a new game last night of myself in Stardew Valley.
Didn't Stardew Valley start on the 3DS?
No,
it was a PC game.
It was PC.
Is it?
And then it went on Vita and
it's on mobile too. It's on all the like iOS, Android.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Stardew is wonderful on it. This is why I don't go to bed early anymore. It's because of Stardew Valley.
I'm waking up and I just see Eric playing Stardew Valley.
I started a new farm today. Kateri asked me if she could start her own farm. We're like, okay, might as well. You can multiplayer it. So we're gonna start our own farm. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's not my good anyway. But you know, are y'all good with your good? What are you actually playing other than Stardew on it?
On this thing right now?
Yeah.
I'm
other than
playing
emulators, like what Steam games are you playing on there?
I got Bubba Is You.
Baba Is You.
Which I'm having fun with. It's one of those games that just sat in my library and I never tried it before.
It's so funny.
It's funny. It's challenging in just the right way. Like when you beat a level, you actually feel like you accomplished something.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing that, and I've been playing No Man's Sky as well. It actually runs really nice on the Steam Deck too. So playing that on the go is pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And they keep putting out new content for that game. So even though I bought that game like 7 years ago, I don't remember when it came out.
Yeah.
Every time I turn on,
it was terrible. It was the worst.
We
it was
remember.
such a terrible game.
And now there's there's like a new update every couple of months with all kinds of new content and everything. So every now and then I like to hop back into that game and see if it's
almost what they originally promised.
Yeah.
It's a game that got awesome after its release.
Yeah. They got bashed for 2 years straight, and then they finally started releasing stuff.
Well, they stuck with it. I guess they could have given up, but they just kept going, which is nice for a company to do that.
It sucks that they didn't just release it when it was ready. Like,
you mean like every other AAA developer now releasing a game a year and a half before it's actually done?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So asking a guy who's making a game with like 2 other people to do that would actually, it's kind of reasonable.
Yeah. Exactly. As I put away Cyberpunk over this way. Goodbye, Cyberpunk. That's a good game.
I hear it's good now.
It is good. That's what
I have it on PS5. I have to get into it. I've been playing so much Elden Ring that when I
got to get back into that.
You know, it's when I turn on the PS5, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I only have a limited time. Might as well play some more Elden Ring, and then I got all these other games sitting there waiting for me.
You should stream it for Marcus so he can live vicariously through us Elden Ringers. Although I think you might like it. It's like a beginner's Elden Ring.
You don't understand. I want to play Elden Ring. I'm going to get it at some point. I just can't dedicate any time to it yet, so there's no point in me doing this yet at this point.
I almost bought a steering wheel the other day when I was like
for Elden Ring.
No, for
Elden Ring.
For Gran Turismo. Maybe Torrent will be jumping off everything.
Yeah, it's great.
He keeps jumping off stuff. I don't understand it.
They had a steering wheel while I was at Costco, and I was like,
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
I mean, I haven't played Gran Turismo since we talked about it, but you know, there it is.
I've been playing. I got my car. I finally got my Huayra.
Nice. Is that what your good is? I might as well just go to you.
Okay. I'm enjoying it. I'm obviously playing it once in a while, and there's a few races where I can make a good 100,000 per race kind of thing. It's nice.
Ooh. You can get over 10.
Huh?
So you can get over 10 tokens in a race now?
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Actually, there's a handful that are all 70, and then there's a couple that are like the potential for like 140 to 150,000 or something like that. But I can't win those races. I try, but I can get third. I can walk away with like 100,000 or something.
I didn't even notice that Steve was in the chat. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
That's cool. Yeah. I gotta get into that game. I really did enjoy it when we did talk about it.
It's a pretty fun game, and like I said, one of the things I like about it the most is the fact that it is no pressure. I don't have to sit there and dedicate hours to it. I can hop on for one race and then just dick off. So it's
I've been playing it wrong then.
My good, like what's good is I just ordered a couple of Lego lightsaber hilts.
Yum.
And I am so excited to have them in my collection.
Are these the official ones?
Star Wars things. Huh?
Are they the official one?
I've ordered one official one and then 3 knockoffs.
I was gonna say I only think there's one official. Yeah.
The official, you have to buy it from eBay.
Yeah, I know.
So I bought one on eBay. Some of them are trying to go for like $200, $300. I found one for $80, and I was like, yes, I will take it. I hope it is in good condition. I hope all the pieces are there.
Mm-hmm.
It was stated that it was opened and built, but it's been deconstructed and put back in its packaging. So we'll see. And then I have 3 knockoffs from China.
There's a website I gotta send you, and it has where you can like what pieces go in every single set, and then where you can get these pieces online. So it'll make an order for you from all the various brick stores for like a set if you just want to buy the individual pieces, and they'll try and get the
It's
cheapest
like PC part picker, but for Lego.
Yeah, but for Lego, it's amazing.
And is it like vastly cheaper? Like, is it?
It depends. Because sometimes like there are decals and stuff that are specific, and those are expensive. So, or sometimes you can only get a part in bulk, so you have to buy the bulk number.
As I was looking at these, I also noticed that there was a couple kits for the Mandalorian's new ship, the hot rod Naboo starfighter.
Yeah.
So I think I might buy one of those. Like if my knockoffs show up and they're in pretty good condition and they look nice, I think I might go for one of the starfighters as well, because it looks pretty awesome.
Let me know, because they have good knockoffs of the Black Series Millennium Falcon. You know, the $1,400 ones, and I want to
for
get it
way cheaper.
Yeah,
way cheaper. So yeah, I've been also like, because that's my biggest problem. I look at the Legos and I'm like, they're amazing, they're good quality, they're beautiful, but I can't dedicate that kind of money to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the knockoffs are a perfect thing for me. So that's my good.
I'm looking forward to the new, because they're coming out, I think next year, 2024. They're coming out with their plant-based Lego. Everything is going to move from plastic to plant-based bricks. So I can't wait.
Eat them.
I guess. I don't think you're supposed to, but they're supposed to be more. They're biodegradable and stuff. So
it'll probably be more like 3D printed resin from 3D printers. That plastic is usually plant based.
Good to know. So, I was looking up 3D printers, Marcus. I might go on.
Which one? Don't buy anything until you run it by me, because I'll tell you whether you're an idiot or not.
No, it was actually a good one. It was recommended by a 3D person that I talked to. But,
wow, you see people in 3D? I only see people in 2D.
He's the lawnmower man. He lives on the internet.
He's the lawnmower man.
It's the Ender 3 Pro.
Enders are great. Ender 3D printers are fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not an idiot. Hawk.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're good.
I got 2 things I want to recommend this week. They're both television.
I like it.
Actually, yeah. All right. The first one is We Own This City, which is the return to Baltimore with the crew from the producers and writers from The Wire. Brand new miniseries, not about corrupt cops and corrupt government officials.
That's John Bernthal, right?
Yeah, starring John Bernthal. Now, it's actually a really assorted cast, and like Gabrielle Cartieris is in this. Remember from 90210?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know she was still acting. I thought she retired after 90210.
Apparently she's back for this one. So this is a series I was really excited when I heard about it. First episode is out today. So when we're done with this podcast, I'm going to go watch it. My second recommendation is the return of Barry.
Oh shit, is that back?
Yes, the HBO comedy drama starring Bill Hader returned last night.
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch it.
After I believe a 2-year absence, not because of the pandemic. Yeah. You know, it went out. It was like it was one of the most acclaimed series. Like at the time that it was, I believe Henry Winkler won an Emmy for his performance as Gene Cousineau.
Oh.
And I'm so glad they came back. So
it was really one of my favorite shows to like pop in and watch, and then like. When I saw that it wasn't coming out with a 3rd season till I guess this year, it was very devastating to me. But thank God it's back. That's fantastic. So good. I'm gonna watch that. I think I'm watching that tonight.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. Speaking of good TV shows that are coming out soon, they started filming the 3rd and final season of Ted Lasso today.
Oh,
they started. So there's all these, photos. They're like, oh, look, it's Hannah Waddingham and Jason Sudeikis filming their first scene. Oh, look, there's what's his name? Angry dude. What's his real name?
Roy Kent.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of his real name, but I couldn't. But anyway,
how could you forget his name? He's here. He's there. He's every fucking way.
Fair enough. All right, Dave. What's good? Or are you doing a what's bad instead?
Well, I got two. Fine, everybody else gonna do two. I'm gonna do two.
Do your good, and then I'll do my good, and then you do your bad.
Because my what's good, is I'm always talking about Matt Colville and MCDM. It's not their Kickstarter. He's been playing and having commentary of the 1981 BBC4 radio dramatization of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Starring, I don't know if you're aware, Ian Holm played Frodo in that before he played Bilbo in the movies. It is incredibly fucking good.
Yep.
You can find it online. You can listen to it. Like it was played on the radio for free. So like I don't know if there's copyright or whatever, but there doesn't seem to be copyright in North America on it. So you can just go listen to it. I think it's on SoundCloud, it's on YouTube and all kinds of stuff. But he, being a huge Tolkien nerd, interjects with his own stuff. And he's like made Twitch VODs of it all. So he's got some pretty good insights, but at the same time, like he'll read like passages from Tolkien's notes, like whatever Christopher Tolkien did to like break down stuff.
Yeah.
And Tolkien's official autobiography, which is the same guy who did, I think, the radio dramatization, and who, as I understand, had the same job as Tolkien at, I think it was Cambridge. So he's like one of the few people who can like understand Tolkien and like what he did as a job, because a lot of people want to dissect him as a writer, but like that wasn't his job, right? Writing these amazing fucking books was not his job. That was his side hustle that he kind of did for fun.
Yeah.
Like, and that was looked down upon by his peers.
Like, let's put some of them, not all of them.
Well, obviously not C.S. Lewis, who was also, an author, but a lot, like his coworkers were like, why are you writing novels? You're like a professor of literature, like English studies and all this stuff. It's like, well, wouldn't it make I don't know, whatever. But it's really good. The audio drama is really good, and Colville's whole commentary on it's awesome. And I've got 2 episodes left to listen to.
Fun fact: I used to have that on tape, like cassette.
Yeah,
tape.
there's like I think you can get records of it too.
The cassette tapes were like 15 of them, I think. Something like that.
There were originally 18 episodes. This only has 12 because it's been edited a few times. Because I believe the original version was played in 24 episodes because it was half-an-hour chunks.
The tapes are long.
So what I'm listening to is hour-long chunks. But it's really good. Now it's not like a
unabridged.
It's not condensed or anything.
No.
It's an adaptation.
Yeah. So
there's parts that are sort of different because it's a radio play. Like there's no like action sequences are just like kind of glossed over because it's all audio.
Yeah. The Tom Bombadil stuff is quite good. I enjoyed that part, that section.
I don't remember if that's in the radio play.
It is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Unless I'm thinking of a different radio version, but I think I mean,
there's been
there's multiple.
Than one
I'm thinking
audio.
the BBC one. I'm pretty sure. Sure. Anyway.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's
my what's good. I'm almost done. We got 2 episodes left.
My what's good is I've been I watched this a long time ago, like November. I watched Arcane back in the day in November, and then I rewatched it again this week. And it is so fucking good. I don't know if you guys have seen this cartoon on Netflix.
I haven't. It's there waiting for me. I just haven't gotten around to it.
It's the League of Legends cartoon. I know nothing about League of Legends. I've never played it, but I got into it again. Like I watched it very tired, because can't breathe. But I watched it again this week, and then it just blew through it. And the soundtrack's amazing, the animation's amazing, the whole thing. Plus, the reason I started watching it again is because Corridor Crew did an animators react to Arcane on Saturday. So I was like, shit, might as well watch it again. And oh man, it's so good. If you're a fan of animation, it's incredible. It's just incredible to even just watch. Not to mention it's a good story and the music's amazing. The theme song is by Imagine Dragons. I know, Shouse, you love Imagine Dragons. So that song, what did the kids say? It fucks? Is that the one?
I can't hear the name Imagine Dragons anymore without thinking of the Hawkeye dude being like, I bought the tickets for my girlfriend to see Imagine Dragons.
Good advice. Good advice.
She wants to take her friend, not me.
Anyway, it's good. Check it out. The soundtrack is also downloaded on my phone now. Like, I have 2 soundtracks downloaded because I have Apple Music. I usually just stream it. But 2 I have downloaded just in case I don't have internet. Arcane and the Bluey album. So it's the 2 that I've, both animation, both very good. Anyway, Dave, what's your bad? Arcane, watch it.
I actually posted on Twitter earlier, but I was enjoying a lovely popular red beverage earlier today.
Cocaine.
But I have a cocaine. I have a cup that's like opaque, and I put ice in it, and I got a straw, and I just noticed, I was like, oh, it looks weird. So I picked it up, and I had to actually grab a flashlight, and there was a dead centipede in the cup.
Ugh.
And boy, did I feel the opposite of cool.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, and then I was like, well, that cup's been there all day and all night because I brought ice down with me when I grabbed a Coke. So I'm like, was I drinking centipede water last night? Because that was sitting in the kitchen. Because the cup was sitting in the kitchen next to the sink. Because I've never seen, this is at my desk, my computer. I've never seen a centipede here at my desk. I've seen them in my bathroom. I'm in the basement. I've seen them in other parts of the basement. But I've never seen spiders or anything on my desk. So I was like, if it was sitting, because centipedes like places that are like warm and humid. So I was like, well, probably when my cup was sitting next to the sink upstairs, probably crawled in, and then I filled that cup with water and then came downstairs and drank. And it was not a small centipede. It was not small.
No. Because then you would have eaten it.
Oh my God. Well, luckily I was using a straw and there was ice, right? So there was a filter, maybe. That's a why me God, not a what's bad.
Stopping. Let's move off of this. That's gross. Because
we're gonna sell some merch. It's gonna be a glass with like a
picture of a centipede.
final centipede on the side,
or we get those fake ice cubes and centipedes.
Oh, the centipede ice cube.
There appears to be a fly in my drink.
Humors.
Oh my!
I'm gonna actually do some news because once in a blue moon, I say news. So originally set for release on HBO Max alongside other mid-sized superhero films, it looks like the Batgirl film is going to be headed to theaters. If the film does indeed get a theatrical run, the film will get a bump in terms of budget. I don't know why I put budge for its post-production, namely in VFX and music. The film stars Leslie Grace, Brendan Fraser, Michael Keaton, and J.K. Simmons. So this is set in the Snyderverse. What do you guys think about this?
I love J.K. Simmons. He can do no wrong.
I love Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yep.
It's in the Snyderverse, but Michael Keaton is Batman.
Yeah. I don't know if Ben Affleck's going to show up as well. We have to.
I mean, isn't
like are we to believe like it? So
because Michael Keaton's not Batman in the Snyderverse.
No. But like J.K. Simmons is still Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
But not in the Keaton version.
No, definitely not.
No. But I mean, like he.
So
I feel like he's the only person that can just span across all the multiversal versions.
I'm fine
and
with
he's always
that.
the same.
I see, because he's J. Jonah Jameson. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I just feel like he's always going to play certain roles, and like you just have to accept that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Jeffrey Wright was just Commissioner Gordon.
Detective Gordon.
I liked him a lot.
He's also the Watcher, who also spans the multiverse.
There, yes.
Ooh, if we get a what were the amalgam? Oh, if we got an amalgam film,
comics, time for Dark Claw to make a return, half Wolverine, half Batman.
Yes, and no at the same time. But I like it. I like the idea of having Batgirl in theaters. Apparently Batman.
Yeah, totally.
Why not?
Yeah, like the Batman was 40 days in theaters and then it went straight to HBO Max. If they're going to do the same with Batgirl, I'm fine with that because I would love to see this in theaters and then stream it later.
I'm very upset that I missed the Batman in theaters.
I think it's still there.
It can't
be gone already.
Well, I mean, it's not in like like especially not the Welland Theater over here. Like it's not.
That's fair.
Well,
It's
nothing
not
plays in the Welland Theater, having lived in Welland
Hey,
myself.
hey,
yeah.
hey, it's
I used
there's
to
some
go to St.
stuff.
Catharines to watch a movie, is what you do.
Yes, pretty much.
Niagara
40
Falls.
minutes away.
But yeah, I would have loved to have actually seen the Batman in theaters and hear like that. I can only imagine what that Batmobile would have actually sounded like in a theater, like with a surround sound.
I was in D-Box and it was fucking awesome. Any action movie, I usually watch D-Box. That's why I'm going to see Doctor Strange in D-Box as well. But
That should be good.
Dune is still the top-notch best D-Box movie I've ever seen. Just the fucking best. Oh my god. Batman though.
So the Batman has one showing today at the theater near me, which is a pretty large theater. And I guess it's also because Sonic 2 is out, right? That's a pretty big...
I heard that movie's really good.
I mean, I want to see it. I like Sonic 1.
Did anybody watch Uncharted?
Yeah,
Eric did.
I did.
Is it good?
I did not like it. But
Okay.
I know a lot of people that did. But Uncharted is like one of my favorite franchises. And it felt wrong.
Ah, okay.
Also, the theme song is only used twice in the movie.
Was it better than the first Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider? Like comparatively,
I have
'cause that
no.
was pretty bad.
I have no connection to Tomb Raider like back then. Like Uncharted is like one of my favorite games, and like I like Tom Holland. Like he's fun, but
He's not Nolan North.
He's not Nolan
you know?
North. He was fine. Marky Mark as Sully was wrong. It felt he did not seem like Sully the whole time, and I was just sitting there, I was like, this is just Marky Mark being Marky Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, in a perfect world, it would have been Powers Booth who played Sully.
Yes, and Nathan Fillion playing
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Like that short film,
Yes.
which was oh man.
I like Stephen Lang as Sully.
Stephen
I
Lang
thought
would
he
have been
was-
good too.
He was really good.
Powers
Powers Booth died 5 years ago, so that would have been really tough.
The girl that played Chloe was great. I thought she was perfectly Chloe.
She was in Power Rangers, right?
Was she? I don't.
Oh,
I don't know.
looking
Anyway,
up.
I'm on it.
Anyway, so alongside Batgirl, the Blue Beetle film is also going to go to theaters as well instead of going to HBO. So, I'm looking forward to that.
What?
Yeah, Blue Beetle.
They're making a Blue Beetle?
Yeah, the newer one, like the younger kid, the Hispanic one. So
I didn't even know that was actually happening.
I didn't know there was a Blue Beetle who wasn't Hispanic.
yeah, there's two white dudes before him, or maybe three. I think he might be Blue Beetle 4. Someone in the chat, let me know. Anyway, that's cool. We're good with that. No one cares about. Batgirl's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I like Leslie Grace.
I'd love to see a Batgirl in the theater.
Yeah.
Batgirl. That sounds good. I'm down for that.
So we heard that John Williams is creating the theme for the Obi-Wan series, but we just learned that Natalie Holt, who scored the Loki TV series, is going to be doing the music in the actual show. That show releases May 27th. I'm looking forward to that. I love the music for Loki.
She's done a bunch of other stuff. She's been really good.
That's all I can think of right now because that's all I looked up.
She did a Western TV show before Loki. I'm trying to remember what it was. A 6-parter. Shoot.
We'll figure it out later. Anyway, and going more off of the Naughty Dog type thing, apparently Naughty Dog hired a new recruiter, and on her LinkedIn, she posted that they're scouting for new talent at the studio, and they're looking for people to build not only new titles, but titles for the legacy of Uncharted. So that means we're getting a new Uncharted game eventually, pretty soon. Probably not what they wanted to announce or how they wanted to announce it, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be Nathan Drake if it's the legacy of Uncharted. It's probably
I
set
think
in the
they
world.
could just start a new series with the daughter from Uncharted. But then the problem is,
Then it's the future.
if they make it serious, then it's just the new Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's just Tomb Raider again.
Right?
I hope that Nathan Drake and his wife doesn't
It's so
die.
weird. It's like, we should make an Indiana Jones game, but let's put a woman because that'll be cool. And then somebody went, let's make it a Tomb Raider game, but make it a funny dude. And they were like, you just made Indiana Jones. Like,
Let's get Indiana Jones, but not make him a teacher. That's what they did. No, none of those teaching side missions.
how can we mix Far Cry 1 with Indiana Jones?
Anyway, the last thing for our news is this June, Canada is going to be getting its new PlayStation Plus, the 3-tiered version, and we finally got the pricing. So Essential, which gives you the same benefits as PlayStation Plus now, it'll be 1 month $11.99, 3 months $29.99, 12 months $69.99. The extra one, which will add 400 games you could stream from PS4 and PS5, will be $17.99 for 1 month, not $49.99 for 3 months, and $114.99 for 12 months. Jesus. And then the premium, which has all of that, plus 340 additional games. Sorry about that.
Goddamn maple syrup on the fucking lines again.
I hate my internet. Delicious. I have a gigabit internet, a gigabit internet connection. The amount of times my internet goes down is fucking infuriating. Rogers, get your shit together. So PlayStation Plus Premium, you get all that shit from earlier, and you get 340 additional games, including PS3 games and some PlayStation, PS2, and PSP games. Plus,
that's the second tier?
No, this is the third tier.
The third tier. Yeah, the third tier gets you the classic games. Yeah.
And then there's gonna be game trials and some other shit. You know,
other shit.
Cloud streaming access for original games and some other stuff.
So so Essential actually isn't changing price at all, because you're still getting your 2 free games. Free. They're not
your
free.
2 games
Subscription. They should call them what they are. They're subscription games.
Yeah.
A month plus, the ability to play multiplayer and your cloud saves and all that stuff. Right. That's the same price, which is actually good. That's not changing.
That's all.
They mentioned that when they announced it. They're like, if you're going to stay in that tier, you don't have to do anything. It's just going to stay the same as it was, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you want to upgrade, then I just don't know if I like. I don't feel the need to. I don't feel the.
Well, I know a few people who are holding out to see what the list of the classic games are going to be, because they'll definitely, like, it sounds like the middle tier might be the least popular, honestly.
Yeah. Well, 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games. I mean, that's not.
No, it's not bad. But like everybody I know who's interested is either going to go, like, I'm going to stay where I am probably, right? Which is basic. But people I know who had PlayStation Now are like, no. Like, whatever the list of games is, I'll do it, or I'll just stay with regular.
I find streaming games not great.
Well, most games on PlayStation Now you can download, though.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, you could. That was like 2 years ago. It's so weird. Sony doesn't make a big fanfare about that stuff, but PlayStation Now has been a really good deal for a while, actually. Yeah, because you wouldn't have to buy God of War. That's the thing, is that PlayStation Now was a competitor actually to Game Pass that whole time, but Sony never advertised it.
I know that Andrew Noble, which a couple of you guys know, he's a big fan of PlayStation Now, so maybe he'll get that. Anyway, let's get into the main topic. Doctor Strange, the 2016 film by the director, Scott Derrickson. Oh my God. We're going to keep this, loose, because I just really want to hear what everyone thought about the film, like what they originally thought. And, because we're excited about the sequel. Maybe we'll talk about what we hope to see in the film. I haven't seen any trailers other than that first one where we get to hear Captain Picard talk. So
yeah, I've actually purposely been trying to stay away from the trailers for this one, because I really want to be surprised this
Every time I open up YouTube, it's like, hey, here's a 15-second clip. I'm like, no.
I was so happy.
We learned our lesson from No Way Home. So
I was so happy when I saw the 3 Spider-Men. I hope I didn't ruin that for anyone here, but
Spider-Man?
Johnny Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man.
That movie's like the number 3 movie in the world ever now, right? Something like that, despite a pandemic.
I thought it was number 1. I thought it beat everything.
Is it number? Okay, well, so everybody who wanted to see that movie fucking saw that movie.
Yeah. I mean, if it beat a big blue alien cat, I'm fine with that. Anyway, so a summary of the 2016 film. Doctor Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, his life changes after a car accident robs him of his use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. He quickly learns that the enclave is a front line of battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Before long, Strange is forced to choose between his life, a fortune and status, or leave it all behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. The film stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and Dormammu. Mads Mikkelsen as Caecilius, Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, Benedict Wong as Wong, Rachel McAdams as Christine Palmer, and Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo. That cast is fucking incredible. I remember seeing that
So good.
when they announced it, I was like, well, every single person here is amazing.
Yeah.
Oscar worthy.
Well, okay, so I agree for almost all of it. The only person that not that she's a bad actress or anything, but I felt like Rachel McAdams was not used well in the movie. You know, like she's there,
Yeah.
she's got a point, but I felt she was very underutilized in the movie.
Yeah, she was just like love interest.
But I don't to no fault of her own. It's more so just the writing, I guess, maybe, or the direction.
Well, Christine doesn't have a lot to do in the movie, right?
No, but like it's like I felt like I would have loved for her to have a moment, like some kind of really awesome moment, aside from her being scared in a closet. Like I really
That was
would have liked
hilarious.
to have seen.
And it was a blooper.
good. It was funny. But like she didn't get to do much. You know,
Yeah.
like I felt bad. Whereas,
She would have been a good emotional anchor for him to stay, you know, to not become like crazy. I guess they did that in What If, right?
She's definitely important in What If.
And
Yeah.
that's why I'm also hoping that she's going to have a better role in this next movie. Like I hope she has like at least a more prominent.
She got a character
emotional
poster,
support.
so I assume that means she's gonna be more important. She has a character poster. Like they don't normally do that for.
Well, I mean that doesn't necessarily mean
That's true.
anything.
Yeah, that is fair.
I mean, look at the Eternals.
God
We try
damn.
not to.
No.
We all try not to.
I'm so sad about that movie.
We drink
so
because
much.
we want to forget.
I love that team so much. Oh.
Now we're all sad.
Do you guys remember the first time you saw Doctor Strange? Did you see it in theater?
Yes.
Like, what were you one of those people that were like, "Fuck, I have to see this movie right now"? And what was your initial reaction to the film when you saw it? Just jump in, whoever.
I'll go first. I missed it in its theatrical run. I know. I don't know why. I can't remember why, but I do remember when I picked it up because it was kind of a good day. I went up to Blockbuster and picked that up and Horizon Zero Dawn, which had come out at the same time. Yeah, so that was a hell of a fun weekend in that. And you know, I watched this movie. I kind of love I didn't read the comic when I was a kid, but I did. I was fascinated by the character in that.
Yeah.
I was blown away by this movie. This was that streak where you was like, Marvel can do no wrong. You know. But,
Well, that was the year Civil War had come. So Civil War had come out in May, I think, and then Doctor Strange, and I think everybody pretty well liked Civil War. And after like Marvel just had hit after hit, and you're like, they're gonna do it with Doctor Strange. Like, how can they not at this point?
Yeah.
I saw it on opening night as well. And I remember liking it a lot. I saw it in Niagara Falls where they have a really big like IMAX screen. And I went with my wife and we were both like, holy shit, this movie is like trippy and really cool. And
Oh yeah.
the visuals were like nothing. We saw it in 3D, so we're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, me too.
And it was really good. It was the first real it's our first real introduction into magic, right? Like actual sorcerer.
Yeah, that
magic.
was like
Yeah.
the big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was always cool for me. I like Doctor Strange. I always thought he was a neat character. I didn't like Hawk said, I didn't read the comic. I knew him because he looked like Iron Man. And wasn't Iron Man, but he was still really cool. And I remember him from the Avengers cartoon from the 90s. Was that the 90s? Yeah.
Was
There's a Marvel like
cartoon?
Iron Man and some other.
I think actually the
Marvel
Avengers
ones.
one I think was actually in the 2000s.
Okay, then. I was watching it in university.
Earth's
when I
Mightiest
was-
Heroes or
no.
something.
No. There was one before. So you know how they did like X-Men? Fox had like X-Men.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
Fantastic Four because I used to get up at 6 a.m. to watch these when I was a kid.
Yeah.
There was Silver Surfer. There was Fantastic Four, and there was an Avengers cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. I was.
Yeah,
I
but I don't remember Doctor Strange being on it.
I recall him showing up, or maybe it was something else. I remember seeing him in something. Anyway, I like
It
Doctor
was just
Strange.
Iron Man in a towel.
He does magic. What about you? Show us
Yeah, I knew very little about the character. I didn't read the comics or anything before, but I went and seen it in 3D as well, and was just blown away by how exciting it was that there was this whole new element to the Marvel universe, at least for me anyway. This idea of magic and being able to teleport and transport between different places. That was one of my favorite parts was that they could open up a portal and just go anywhere that they needed to go. So I mean, my first experience with it was enough to make me want to see it several times. And I mean, since I'm sure I've seen the movie about a half dozen times.
Oh shit!
Just because like over the years, like I showed my son. It's just a really fun movie to watch. But it's also kind of trippy, right? So it's different. It's not what you expect from a Marvel movie. I mean, basically with what we were seeing before prior to that, it gave us something new to experience. It was very much like the Inception style special effects, right? And so seeing the buildings all flipping inside out and stuff like that, it was like, wow, we wouldn't be able to see this kind of movie years ago, and they've really sort of honed their craft, and I got excited about it.
It really was the first time we saw any Kirby-esque like designs on screen. Like normally they did pretty generic. I don't want to say generic because Marvel movies aren't generic. Well,
they sort of are, but they also aren't visually.
But this is the first time they actually pulled in that Kirby like psychedelic look, and like when you first get Steven pushed through that dimensional change that the ancient one does, and you're just seeing everything like so fucking trippy. It was the first time you really saw that, and then you get Ragnarok just a couple months later, and you're like, well, they're just keeping the Kirby thing going. So. Oh man, it was such a treat for people who like Jack Kirby.
Rewatching this, I was actually thinking that the visuals reminded me a lot of the Quantum Zone or Quantum Realm. But then I was like, because Ant-Man came out the year before, but we really didn't see much of the Quantum Realm on that. Like we had very brief glimpses. So, but we had a lot. Like you have like a 10-minute sequence in this movie going through all that dimensional crazy shit.
Yeah, I guess the sequel is also in 3D. I didn't even realize they were still doing 3D movies, but I saw it
once in a while. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home is in 3D.
Oh, weird. I think I saw Eternals in 3D. That was unfortunate. We're back on Eternals.
You know that part that you guys are talking about where he's flying through, like when he first gets pushed out of his body and he's flying through the dimension thing. It kind of reminds me of Star Trek: The Motion Picture. When Spock is in the spacesuit and he's flying through V'ger.
Yep.
And he sees all the lights. It was it was the trippy psychedelic kind of look of that time, like the late 70s. And I was like, oh, they're doing the Spock thing here. This is cool.
Aren't those all callbacks to 2001, right? Like it's very, Dave going through essentially a Tesseract, but
being reborn as a space baby.
Yeah.
Also,
I remember.
Sorry, go for it. I was just gonna say. Well, you go, man, you go.
Well, you guys are all like, I didn't know this character. I'm like, I fucking knew Doctor Strange. I didn't read a lot of the comics, but Marvel had its own line of terrible cartoons alongside the DC animated ones. There's a 2007 Doctor Strange cartoon, which I still own somewhere on DVD, and it was pretty good. And it follows a very similar story in where Doctor Strange and Mordo have to team up to stop Dormammu, but normally in the comics, Mordo is actually an acolyte of Dormammu. So I think that movie was actually more of an origin for that cartoon was basically it shows the origin of Doctor Strange and everything. So when I watched this, I was like, oh, that's the guy from the Defense. Like I know this character well enough. Like he's a magic Iron Man.
That movie had Kevin Michael Richardson as Baron Mordo.
Oh, he's got such a good voice.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
But the thing that excited me about this movie originally was Scott Derrickson, the director, because I really liked Sinister, and did he do Insidious as well?
I feel
no, he did The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Right, and Sinister.
Yeah, and he did Sinister.
Deliver.
So I was like, ooh, this could be like kind of a horror movie, and it's not.
But that's what he wanted for the second one. He wanted to bring in his scary.
So they got Sam Raimi for it.
Which I really wanted that, but I guess that's not actually happening.
They sort of did it with Moon Knight, so I have hopes for, the Doctor Strange.
I mean, if you're gonna do a horror aspect to it, like I really wanted them to go all in on it.
That's true.
As soon as I saw the PG-13 rating or whatever it is, like I was like,
most horror movies are rated PG-13 though.
Are they?
Yeah.
I feel like Insidious and all those ones aren't.
They might be 14A in Canada, but I mean. They're not rated R, that's for sure.
Like, when's the last time there was ever an R rating for a movie?
Deadpool.
Yeah, that had violence and so much swearing. It's mostly the swearing that people will put an R on, right? So
and sex.
Listen,
yeah.
I can prove to you, because originally this podcast was going to be about something else, but when I was 14 or 15, I went into Blockbuster and bought 2 VHS tapes that I legally should have been able to buy, because I bought Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and American Pie 2. One of those movies has nudity, and one of them has a lot of swearing, and I'll tell you which one had the 14A rating. The one with the nudity, which was American Pie.
Yep.
And I was too young to buy them.
Isn't that the whole idea of the South Park movie was that,
Yeah.
and violence and everything is fine as long as there's no swearing.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to talk about the music because Michael Giacchino did the score for this movie, and it's so good, and I totally forgot about it until I watched it.
Did you notice that when time reverses, the score is backwards? I just noticed that today, and I Googled it, and a lot of people don't realize that, it seems.
Yep. Isn't that cool?
That's fucking awesome.
It gave me hints of, do you remember the Sherlock Holmes films that Robert Downey Jr. did? That's what this movie really reminded me of, the music from it. It had that little harpsichordy, like old-timey feel, but set in the modern day. I love the music in this.
Do you think this movie inspired Tenet?
No,
I haven't seen Tenet yet.
Because Tenet came out in 2020.
Right.
So
Tenet
I was watching
a movie that nobody watched.
but I was watching, going like, they're fighting while time is moving backwards, and they have to avoid all this. I'm like, this is the whole point. This is the whole whatever climax of Tenet. I'm like, did he just watch this movie and then what? Dude, it's a movie about things going back and forth. What are you talking about? It's the whole point of the movie.
I've never seen it.
It's good. You should watch it.
It's so long.
Watch it with subtitles though.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I always watch with subtitles because I'm an old man.
That would be funny if it did. I mean, because like everybody commented about how the effect of folding cities on top of each other visually was influenced by Inception and that. So
Going back
It's
and forth.
all-
Yeah.
it's all interconnected, man.
I just can't imagine Christopher Nolan or even Jonathan Nolan sitting down and watching maybe Jonathan Nolan, but because wasn't Person of Interest basically Batman? He had a supercomputer that
Jesus.
told him about crime.
Yeah, with Jesus, right wing Jesus.
So did you guys rewatch it to talk about the podcast today?
I rewatched it today about 4 hours
I watched
ago.
it last night.
Last time I watched it was maybe a month ago.
What about you, Shos? Did you watch it
Yeah,
recently?
about a month ago or so.
So this is the first time I've seen this since 2016. I don't know if I said that on the podcast or before.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more the second time. I don't know if that's because I've seen Doctor Strange evolve through all these other films. Like we saw him in the Infinity War films and the Spider-Man films and Thor. But I really like this a lot more. Like I liked it when I first saw it, but I really liked it last night when I watched it. Really tired. How's it like? Has watching this changed since we've seen him evolve through those films?
Well, I mean, if you're going back, like you've seen the evolution, so you know where he ends up, and when you go back, it's kind of interesting to see how he started, and it's kind of neat to watch it again. But overall, I feel like he kind of becomes Doctor Strange kind of effortlessly. Like, he just kind of, I mean, they don't really show, they show him struggling a little bit, when he's first starting, but then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I can astral project and read in my sleep. I'm good to go. And he just becomes
I don't think
like
that's
a rival.
I don't think that's him becoming Doctor Strange. Because having just rewatched it a couple, not too long, like today, where he is so mad about the fact that he killed the guy, right? Because he's like, I'm a doctor. I swore an oath not to kill anybody. But by the end, what is it, Infinity War, he's like, if you or the kid die, that's not my fucking problem.
I think he's at that point by the end of the film. Like when he does the loop with Dormammu, I think he's at that point when he.
Well, how many times did he die? How many times did he go through?
But that's the decision he makes, right? Where it's he's like, I need to be able to trade one life for the universe. So, and that switch happens, I think, when they get to the Sanctum and in Hong Kong and it's destroyed. And he's like, no, the Ancient One was right. I'll break any fucking rule I have to save this universe.
There's a lot of morally gray in this film, which I really like, especially when we talk to we talk about the Ancient One and Tilda Swinton. What did you think about her and how she was like, I have to use this darkness to make the good happen in our dimension?
I think her performance is too flat on purpose to make it nuanced as it needs to be. And I don't think people were right to necessarily criticize that the Ancient One should be any particular, race or creed or whatever. Because they're like, oh, it's an ancient Celtic person, or whatever. Because clearly the point of the movie is that the Ancient One is doing everything they can to get to Stephen Strange, right? That's clearly, they're like, I have to get to this point in time so you exist, because Strange, as we know from What If, is a fixed point in time. He has to exist, it seems, in whatever version throughout the multiverse.
I should have watched What If again. I feel like that that would have.
I didn't even finish watching it earlier, but like that's the thing I remember from that, is that him turning into the Sorcerer Supreme is a fixed point in time. Yeah. Different people can be Iron Man, different people can be Star-Lord, but he has to be the Sorcerer Supreme, which is fucking whack.
I guess I didn't realize that when I watched this again, because when Tilda Swinton is talking about how she needed to fight this, using the darkness and whatnot. I never thought that she was waiting for Stephen Strange, because didn't she have like hesitations about having him be trained at the beginning? Like, I feel like that was a thing.
I think
she was always aware, because like, even
she
in
looked through time.
Even in Endgame, like, she looked through time. She always knew the fixed point of her death, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird concept in that. So no matter how much dark energy she used in that, it was only just to get to that point in that,
which is maybe why she's okay using it. She's like, it doesn't matter how much dark energy I draw, because Mordo's like, this is unnatural, but it's like, you don't see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because I already know what the future is going to hold. Doctor Strange, I looked in 1 million, different versions. This is the only one where we win. So we have to do this one thing. She did the same thing. She's like, well, the only way I have to end up here. So it doesn't matter what happens between me getting here. But at the same time, if the TVA is clipping branches where that doesn't happen. Now that we've seen Loki, we know that the TVA is clipping branches where those things aren't happening.
Yeah.
That's why Doctor Strange is a fixed point in time, because the TVA is making it happen.
And we knew she was aware of Stephen Strange, like in Endgame, because she talked, the Hulk said, "Oh yeah, that's 4 years from now."
He's 4 blocks that way right now, operating on someone. She's been watching him his whole life. Which is messed up.
So we talked about you mentioned Mordo, Chiwetel's Ejiofor's character, and he's more of the black and white. Like, he has a very strong set of beliefs, and he holds to them really well. What'd you think of him as that character and how they portrayed Mordo? I never thought of him as that, but I liked that way.
His performance is maybe the best performance in the movie, in my opinion. Because I was talking about this off air with Eric earlier, where just like his, the bill always comes due. It's just
such a good
delivers
line.
it. He delivers them so well. We're like, you really feel like, oh, that's going to be his nemesis. That's his Moriarty.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is training him. He's just as smart as him. He's just as dangerous. And he's like, you don't understand what I've done to get where I am. Right. He's like, you've had it easy. I've done terrible things. You killed one guy. So you're like, holy shit, like, this guy's fucking serious. There's some dark shit here that we're going to find out one day.
His post-credits scene with Benjamin Bratt, with Jonathan Pangborn, where he's like, there's too many sorcerers. I was like, it's one of my favorite end credit scenes, and it's one that I always watch, whenever I can. Like, it's one you don't want to miss, because it's so well done, and it really sets up where he's going in the future. Oh, man. Sorry, Hawk, you were saying something?
Oh, it's just, I was just going to comment on it. Like, he's such a contradictory character in that, because he's somebody whose mind was open to the possibilities of like other realms and magic and spells and that, and yet believes firmly in that there are rules to it, which, rules don't seem to apply.
Those rules exist so that they don't break time, right? They can't, which is so
the
I don't know
if pass and everything.
He talks about, like, you're messing with the space-time continuum. You're going to break our reality. You're going to annihilate our reality, which we know is not the case, because whatever. But he believes that, right? And that's the important thing, is that he believes that's going to be the end result.
And
that's why that end credit thing is so important in that. It's like his belief, like, because you think like Jonathan Pangborn, he just uses this little piece of magic just to lead a normal life in that. But even that, after his revelation, after his epiphany and that, it is something that he can't allow.
It feels very World of Darkness. There's a game called Mage the Awakening, where there's like people who just do that. They take little bits of magic, and some people take it and kind of scurry off, but then they also know things like vampires and other stuff exist. And there's essentially a police force of mages who go out and stop those people, because you're breaking reality. when you use magic, and you're going to destroy the universe by like, oh, you just want to do this little thing. Yeah, that has a reverb effect, and I think that's exactly what Mordo kind of believes in, where it's like you can't do these things. It breaks the laws of nature, and that's going to break our reality.
And that's why he goes forward and he tries to kill the crew of the Serenity. It's very strange.
Listen, we're going to get to enjoy a world he's not going to get to live in.
Oh. So we also hear about the multiverse for the first time, I believe, in this film. I don't know about you, but when I heard that in theaters, I was like, oh fuck, are they going to start doing that?
It took 3 years for that to pay off, which is a long time. Really,
I'm fine with that. Because if I get to see Chris Evans as a Human Torch again, I'm cool with that.
All the Human Torches, get them all together.
Oh my god!
I want to see the robot.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my god! Oh, Fan Force stick.
Killmonger, is that you? Flame on! Oh shit!
That's how we bring him back to the MCU. Oh my god! No. Yeah. What do you guys think of hearing the multiverse, like them starting to weave that into the MCU?
I don't think they meant it that way. I think they say multiverse. Like when I'm like, there's like in D&D, there's a multiverse. When it's like, what does that mean? Well, there's a plane of fire and there's heaven and hell. That's a multiverse.
I feel like Kevin Feige doesn't do things by accident.
No, I think they had it planned, but at the same time, for me, it didn't have that impact like for you, Eric. Like for me, it was a word, and it was just like, it's just more of their lingo in the moment. The first time the multiverse being spoke like actually made me go was in Spider-Man No Way Home, or not No Way Home,
Far From Home.
Like that was the first time I was like, oh, multiverse. But then
but he was lying in that one.
That one was like, oh, there is no multiverse. But then of course we got our payoff now. So
yeah, because as soon as they're like, oh, dark dimension, I'm like, oh, that's a multiverse.
That's true.
Yeah. You're talking about another, like Asgard. They say is
dimension.
They say Asgard's in another realm. Is Asgard a planet in the universe, or is it in another dimension?
It's in our dimension.
This is the thing. Like, because clearly they're going to go to Olympus in the next Thor movie, right? Because Zeus is in it. Is that like Asgard? Is that a planet, or is that another dimension?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah.
We'll find out when Guns N' Roses is just playing in our ears. Oh yeah.
We'll find out when the God Butcher destroys Russell Crowe.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, please.
And then he falls, and you hear a crack as he hits the water.
Yes. Stars. One last time.
So I don't know if you remember this when Kevin Feige was talking about the future phases for the Marvel films, but originally Doctor Strange was meant to lead the Avengers after, Infinity Saga. Do you think he's still headed towards that?
I think an Avengers team. I actually hope it's the Defenders, to be fair, or the Secret Defenders. But yes,
it's hard to say like what iteration, if they're ever going to revisit the concept of an Avengers again. I know they're going to do. They're going to do team ups and that. It doesn't necessarily have to be under the banner of the Avengers, but. If there's anybody, it would be Stephen Strange.
We could get the Avengers led by Doctor Strange, and then it's got like all like Falcon, and all these characters
Captain
that are on
Marvel.
The good side, and then the other side, it's like Baron Mordo, and
Super James,
right, and Agatha Hart, whoever Venom or whatever we want to do, Evil
Venom.
Hawkeye, all this stuff, right? Like
Evil Hawkeye from MASH.
Yeah. Doctor, my eyes up here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could see him leading people. Like I would love to see him as part of the Avengers. I don't
see him as a leader. The character doesn't seem like a leader. He's
not the same way that Tony Stark was.
Or Cap.
And I feel like he's better suited to the role that he kind of is. He's this wealth of knowledge. He's this character that comes in. He's almost overpowered to the point where he shouldn't be leading a team. He's just like that guy who's like, we need Strange now, and he's like, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Bam, does something amazing. He's like, okay, that's all I got for you, and he's gonna like dig off.
Yeah. Like even in Endgame, what does he do? He's like, I'm gonna hold this water back. You're like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's
like you could have done so much more.
Wait. There's no other sorcerers here who can take care of the water.
Well, the rest of them had to do the shield thing about their
There's nobody else who can help with this? A giant man? Some trees? Anything? Nobody?
Wanda?
No, we need the big moment. We need the big moment. We're I don't even know who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel the same thing. Like Marcus, like we can't have Captain Marvel there all the time. Like she can't just be there and be like, well, I guess I'm gonna kill everyone here.
It's the same thing. Like if we're supposed to believe that we're gonna have a movie where just Spider-Man does something or just Ant-Man does something, then we have to be okay with the fact that these OP characters are gonna just dick off and do their own thing, or like they're not gonna know, or like they're preoccupied.
Yep.
If you had Stephen Strange and Carol Danvers doing all these like if they were on the same team constantly, like.
Well, I mean, that's why we have the levels, right? We have street level, which is like usually Spider-Man, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and then some characters can step up to the world level, which is like, sometimes Luke Cage, usually Spider-Man, Wolverine, and then you have the cosmic level.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about Carol Danvers, actually, that she was like, listen, like Earth is just as important to me as the rest of these worlds are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 6 billion people. That one's got 20 billion. That one's got 15 billion. They all... they all deserve to exist. Because if we just had Carol Danvers here, Superman. If we just had Superman, whatever.
Yeah,
we're fine. We got Superman. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he can't run into tornadoes. That's his issue.
Well, his dad can't is the problem.
No, his dad can.
Hey,
that
when you see Kevin Costner do the, you're gonna listen.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember this, but when the film came out, Mads Mikkelsen's Kaecilius was sort of lauded on the internet. People were like, he's sort of boring. He's not really a great character. Watching it again, I thought he was not bad. I thought he's good, fine.
But it's one of those things where it's like, man, we could use a lot more Mads Mikkelsen in the MCU.
It wasn't really about him the whole film, right? It was about Steven's journey.
Yeah, they need to add a villain.
I felt kind of bad because like Mads Mikkelsen is an amazing actor, and to have him kind of just be kind of cannon fodder for the movie, like he really is just there because we need a protagonist or an antagonist until we get to something bigger.
Yeah,
like he's just the means to an end in a movie that is all about everything else except him and his power.
It's not like I imagined here Rachel McAdams are upset with because of how much they probably got paid for how
probably
little
sleeping on
for
bags
sure.
of money.
You know what I mean?
But like you said, like I mean, I would love to see more Mads Mikkelsen in the MCU, and this might that movie might have just guaranteed that he's not back in the MCU for a very long time. Maybe he'll pop in again, but like at this point, he's extremely underpowered compared to who he would be up against. So I don't see the point to his character ever coming back, and it just sucks because he's an amazing actor and we don't get to see him again. And
honestly, he wasn't in the film that much. It wasn't like the bad guy from Thor 2, which was just a bad villain.
Christopher Eccleston playing
just a terrible villain.
It's also sometimes weird when because they remix things like Christopher Eccleston's I can't remember the dark elf Malekith. He's so much more powerful in the comics.
He was so underpowered in the movie. It was kind of upsetting. Like they talk a big game about the dark elves are going to be super powerful. Then it shows up and I'm like, really? This is it? Like that's it?
And then it's kind of the opposite because like Kaecilius is kind of a pushover in the comics, and then he's like, I can destroy the universe, and it's not him. Obviously, it's Dormammu.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. It's kind of like a first level, second level D&D game where it's like there's a cultist, and if you don't stop him, Orcus is coming through that portal.
We all know that in D&D the real enemy is doors, locked doors.
It's true.
Speaking of Dormammu, I did not expect to actually see him in this film when I first saw it.
So I was super pumped as soon as I heard Dormammu's name mentioned, because like coming from Marvel versus Capcom days, like Dormammu was like one of my favorite characters to use for fighting and stuff, and I just loved the aesthetic of the character. As awesome as it was to see him, at the same time I was very disappointed only because I've seen the concept art of what he was possibly going to look like.
What?
And the concept art is way cooler than what they actually went with. Like,
no, that's pretty fucking cool, dude. Like
but it's not. It's just a face. It's a floating face. I wanted to see like more of the flamey kind of like head part. I wanted to see more of like shoulder form. I wanted to see more like the like
the 90s Spider-Man cartoon Dormammu that appeared as a head to instruct Dormammu about carnage.
I wanted to see more of like a celestial being that is physically there instead of this ominous, shapeless, glowing head. That's
there's an image I'm gonna put on the Discord of what you're saying. It's just gonna be in the regular chat, and like I agree, like it's that, but it looks better. Like that looks fucking sick.
It's still the same kind of design, but it just looks cool.
He looks like he has a cloak and shit. Oh my god, he looks amazing. That being said, I like the design, really cool. But this one looks like a actual being. This one just looked like a floating head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's weird because it's like this movie basically has two villains, Caecilius, who was the one who was going to bring on Dormammu, and then Dormammu, and that, and the whole concept of Dormammu and that as like a self-contained universe that just eats up other universes, Yeah,
it really gave me it gave me an inkling. I was like, does that mean I'm going to see Galactus one day? Because I still haven't seen Galactus.
The thing is like Dormammu's a bigger. It's kind of funny is that Dormammu's the biggest threat the Marvel Universe has faced yet.
Mm-hmm. And he was defeated so easily in this movie. It was one of those
by a battle of wits,
Yes, the most innovative, creative way we've seen in any Marvel movie to date to defeat a villain was just brilliant.
It was so quick though. It was like
okay.
I could have seen him die a couple times more.
That's one of the things I think the movie did really wrong. Is it made it seem like he did it for 5 minutes. Like it seems like
probably like 10,000 years.
Yeah, it's probably been like thousands of years.
Groundhog Day.
To the point where Dormammu was like, okay, seriously, I had plans, and like
there was a Five Guys who wanted to go to. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. So I feel like that was one of the things that like I also kind of didn't like about it because it happened in the movie to us so quickly that we didn't appreciate how. Like I wish they could have shown some way to express that time had gone on for way longer than we expected. Like it like maybe he had been, him and Doctor Strange both in that loop for like thousands of years. Cause at least then we understand the sacrifice that Doctor Strange has really kind of given us at that point. And finally when it works, it's like, oh my God, it's brilliant. To everybody else, it was a minute, but to him, it was thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Like, I think that would have been really cool.
The only other thing I would, because jump on like the idea of what I would add to the movie is at the end, we don't really see Caecilius' punishment. It's you see him like fly away and their skin comes off and they're like these black figures with like one eye. And I'm like, man, it would have been neat if like he had passed those creatures on his way to Dormammu. Because he doesn't, presumably he doesn't know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What does it mean to become like one with Dormammu? Like, are you a Borg? Are you just mind controlled? Or do you physically become part of him? Like, because Doctor Strange is like, I'm not going to kill people, but you can live forever with this motherfucker. So just to know what those creatures are would be really neat because they seem like fun villain, like minions to send out at some point. In What If?
We don't really know what the dark dimension is either, right? Like it just seemed like a different colored universe. Like I wish we saw like
filled with like COVID spores.
Yeah.
It looks like the quantum realm is what it looks like.
I want to see planets that were like dissolving or something like they had exploded or something. That's what I want to see. I want to see the effects of the dark dimension on planets that were like around him and stuff. That's what I wanted to see.
Those spores things that we saw in the dark dimension, they look to me like neurons, which is kind of like reinforces the concept that this universe is just one big gigantic
being, right?
Organism, one organism.
Like when they're inside Ego's head in Guardians 2, where it's like this is the brain, like the planet is a creature, the planet is cells that are made up of larger cells that are made up of planets. Whack.
Do you think we'll see the dark dimension again?
I hope so because the time stone's gone.
100%. 100% we're going to see some dark dimension at some point.
Like maybe at some point Dark Dormammu is going to be like,
maybe
they lost it. They lost the time stone. I'll be right
Fair.
there.
So any other final thoughts on this film? Did we miss anything? Did we talk about?
I did have. What did I want to talk about? You know what? I can't think of it anymore.
It must have been important because you forgot.
It probably was very important.
We probably touched upon something. We talked about a lot of shit with this film.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's one of Marvel's best.
Yeah.
I just something that I noticed that I love is like when like his hands have been like something for me to watch every time I see Doctor Strange or Benedict Cumberbatch in the movies and stuff.
Mhm.
And in the Thor movies, it's funny because he finally had like the gloves, because like his character is often referenced with the gloves in the comic books, but not in the films. Except for that film, we got to see him in those nice leather gloves, mainly because they didn't want to put in the effort and time to put the scarring on his fingers.
I mean, they did a really good job in this movie showing off
Yeah.
the makeup on his hands.
Yeah. But then watching No Way Home, he's sitting there having his coffee and you can see the scars are still there on his head.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes!
Shit.
Like I kind of love looking for that little bit of detail. It's really cool. And then even in No Way Home as well, it's because he does it throughout all the other ones, but his hands still shake just slightly whenever he's casting almost any of the spells. Like he'll do something, but then if he's got like a static spot, his hand is like shaking, and apparently that's purposeful. Like he's always purposely gotten to the point where he's like, my hands still don't work properly, but I can do whatever I need to do. And it's just like that. Those little details, I think, make Benedict Cumberbatch a fantastic Doctor Strange, but it also is just a great like character study for that character, which is kind of nice.
I mean, isn't that basically the point? The idea is that he could fix his hands in the way Pangborn had fixed his legs, but he wouldn't be able to cast any other magic. Yeah. If he wanted to be a surgeon again, he could, but that would be the only thing he could be, which is actually a step down. Obviously, it's a step down. Yeah. He can't go back to his old life.
No. So I'm gonna ask this to the parents in the group. We'll add some parenting stuff here. Shows, you said you showed your kids this, yeah? What did they think of the film? Like, there are scary parts in this film at times.
Yeah.
Like the car crash is still, even for me,
brutal.
Is like fucking
Oh, fuck the car crash. How about the dimension with the hands, where the hands just grow out of the hands?
Yeah.
There's some
I don't know. I'm kind of into the hands now that I've watched it again.
I just showed it to my son. I didn't show it to my daughter.
He's 10, right?
He's 10. Yeah. She tends to be more nervous about things she sees on TV, a little bit more sensitive. But he's fine with all of this stuff. He was really excited to watch it. Like I mean, I introduced him to the MCU through films like basically right at the beginning with Iron Man and things like that. So this was like a different kind of experience for him, and he enjoyed it. And I don't know if, like, he was asking me if we're going to go see Multiverse of Madness. I said it is supposed to be MCU's first horror film, so I don't know. I have to see it first myself to see.
Which is good, because we're going to be talking about it in 2 weeks.
Here's what you do.
Gonna be fine.
Show him Alien, and then if he can handle that,
he can handle anything. I mean, I was younger than him when I saw Alien, and I turned out pretty somewhat all right, I guess.
You're okay.
Yeah.
I get it though. I mean, like, back in March when I finally went and saw Batman in the theater, I was sitting in the this row, and ahead of me was a guy with his 2 kids there, and that couldn't have been older than 10, based on their height.
Oh, nothing will ever top when I saw Watchmen, and there was like a 4-year-old in that theater.
Why?
So, sometimes you just can't find babysitting,
Here,
it's
watch on the iPad.
People want to bring their kids to watch Deadpool, and they go, "Oh shit, I can't show them." But Watchmen has like sex scenes and stuff, which maybe is not necessarily, depending on how you view those things. But that movie's not for kids.
No.
The prison riot scene is pretty gnarly for a kid to watch, and then of course the very end when Rorschach just gets.
I think Watchmen is the least. I would rather show like a 4-year-old Deadpool or Deadpool 2.
I mean, just the beginning of Watchmen, like when the comedian gets beat down. Oh my god.
Yeah. How about when comedian murders his Vietnamese girlfriend?
Oh
pregnant Vietnamese girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
not a kid 4-year-olds. Yeah.
So parenting moment of the day. Don't take your kids to a comic book movie just because
any Snyder movie ever.
Yeah, just bring them the sucker punch. They'll be fine.
They'll last 3 hours, right?
They'll just be bored the whole time, just like everyone else. Oh man. So
Steve says that there were little kids in his viewing of Dunkirk.
Whoa,
No,
history, I
why?
guess.
Why would you take a child to Dunkirk?
The kid's like, well, actually, this is what happened.
This is not entirely accurate.
There were actually more people on the beach. What the fuck is this kid?
Marcus, would you show your kid this movie when he gets of age? I assume.
Well, I mean, obviously, I can't show it to him now.
Well, you could.
I could, but I would be a terrible parent.
Or an awesome one.
Hell, we
Listen,
watched,
I'm fine being a cool, terrible uncle.
we just watched we watched the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie with him,
Mhm.
and we were like, oh, you know, he might get a little bit scared with Robotnik's robots, but like we'll see. And he liked everything except when the one robot is like training on James Marsden, and he just my kid just like starts going no.
You didn't show him the original Sonic with teeth, right?
Oh yes, of course.
No.
No. But like, I definitely like I much like Shao said, like I'm gonna kind of do the same sort of thing. At some point, I'm gonna introduce him to the entire MCU. I'll probably go through the list of the movies as they came out for the most part. But I mean, I think around the 10-year-old mark, he would be good for something like this still.
Yeah.
What do you think you could show him now? Like Avengers 1?
I could, you know what? I could probably show him
Like Iron Man 1?
Spider-Man?
No,
maybe?
not Iron Man.
No, but I think like Spider-Man, like maybe the
Spider-Man.
first Spider-Man. I could show him the Sam Raimi
This-
Spider-Man and it'd probably be fine.
Yeah. I've shown my
I don't
kids
know.
the Sam Raimi ones.
Just don't show anybody the third Spider-Man. if you
No,
can.
nobody
Haven't
needs to
shown
see
them.
the third movie. We stop at Octavius and that's it. We don't need any more.
That makes sense.
It was the best Spider-Man. So many.
Is there a third movie? No. Go to bed.
Yeah.
We
When I saw that movie, the people next to me fell asleep.
Oh man.
That was a midnight showing.
I'm gonna show Kateri the MCU movies again. Like she's picked movies that she wanted to watch just because she saw me watching one of the movies one day. And it's like I want to learn this, but she doesn't want to sit through all of them because they're long movies and kids get bored easily.
Yeah, for sure.
So one day I'll show her this. This was not one of her characters. She wants to see more female superheroes. So you know,
Yeah.
I
It's
Captain
coming
Marvel.
down the pipeline. It's coming
but
down.
I'm not showing her Black Widow because that's not a good movie.
No, it's a bad. Well, yeah, it's a bad movie.
It wasn't a good movie. I'll just show her
It's
like
not.
her in Avengers movies because she was good in
For a
those.
movie about making women feel more empowered, maybe they shouldn't have had such a big dopey man in it all the time. As much as it was funny, it also is like
Yeah.
just show the women being awesome. You know,
Make
I still can't get over the fact
better.
that in a movie filled with Russians,
Yeah.
the only real Russian was the one that was silent the entire time.
Yes. That made no sense. Anyway.
It's terrible.
So, like I said earlier, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out in a week and a half. So
Yeah.
not this Friday, but next Friday. Without bringing into any spoilers that you may have seen, what do you want to see in this film? What do you want to see? We know that Wanda's in there. We know that America Chavez is in there. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking forward to because she's an amazing young Avenger.
I think I'm really looking forward to the dark Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I'm really looking forward to that because I really I want to see some sort of relationship, some sort of banter back and forth. And then what I would love to see is like, are we going to have him like, is he actually going to be an antagonist in this movie, or is it going to be sort of a thing where he teams up and like, I want to know what his deal is in the movie. And I hope it's just more of a tease than an actual, here's the whole meat and potatoes of it. I hope we just get more of that in the future.
Shows.
Yes, everything.
What everything? What do you want to see in this film?
everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah,
Oh,
all,
yes,
all
yes.
of those things.
Actually, if
No,
that
just
movie
like
could just come into the movie, that'd be fantastic.
I would
'Cause technically that would be
100%
everything.
be
all-
down. Michelle Yeoh shows up. I'm like, fuck yes.
I got like
Yes.
4 movies to watch.
I gotta
Oh,
watch
no,
that
she's-
movie still.
She's amazing. No, just like the culmination of everything, right? Like being able to see like all of the multiverse stuff that we've been building up to with Loki and Spider-Man and talking about multiple worlds and sort of bringing everything together, what's going on with WandaVision, how that all connects. Like I feel like it's going to be one of those stories that's just going to put all the puzzle pieces together. It'll give us a lot of brand new puzzle pieces too,
Mhm.
but it'll put a lot of stuff together, and I think it's going to just be a blast. And I'm looking forward to like a really interesting experience. Now, I'm curious what you guys think, because I did mention earlier that this was supposed to be Marvel's first horror movie, but I think they sort of veered away from that a little bit, didn't they? They're not going to go full horror.
They
on
didn't
this?
want to go full horror. That's why Scott Derrickson left the project.
Yeah. And now it's Sam Raimi that's done doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll make it sillier, but more enjoyable, but also more in line with what Marvel does.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I think at this point they don't want to lose any fan base. They don't want to lose any potential, future with like the series.
And we know that
I
Sam
can't think
Raimi
of-
can do horror-esque in PG-13. Like he's done a couple horror films that were that.
I mean, it's not
rating.
like Sam Raimi is a very high grossing director too. Like those 3 Spider-Man movies made a fuck ton of money.
That scene where Doc Ock is getting operated on is straight up Evil Dead horror, like in PG-13. So he can do it.
I also think Sam Raimi's maybe the best director to have an actor act opposite themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Campbell did that a lot, right? Especially in Army of Darkness, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder if there'll be reverse acting.
This is my boomstick.
Hawk, what are you thinking?
Well, now that's
Sorry, Hawk, Shells, were you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry, Hawk.
I finished cutting him off.
Obviously, okay, 2 things. Obviously, Bruce Campbell. In whatever capacity he is.
Dormammu.
Mysterio. That'd be great. But what I'm actually really hoping for in part, in some way, is possibly a mention of Kang. I think they need to start setting up the end game of like Phase 4 and that, and where it's going to go.
Nothing has really been connected to it, right? Like
no,
except for just Loki. But if you haven't watched Loki, and I guarantee,
well, it'll be a big deal in Ant-Man 4,
Yeah.
whenever that's going to happen.
Actually, that's supposed to be happening in the summer and that. But I would love them to touch on it, and that in some like even like the way the Avengers did, where you just basically briefly see him at the end and that, with the little I just a little taste just to start setting it up, because that's the one thing that like they did a great job on, was establishing Thanos in part and in whole and that, and right for the over like the course of 7 years, I think, since Thanos was first mentioned in 2012.
2012, man.
Yeah.
Like we've had, let's see, Black Widow's the first of Phase 4, then Shang-Chi, Eternals, No Way Home, and none of them have touched upon Kang.
No.
That's crazy.
Only
That's
Loki.
weird. Yeah, and Loki, it doesn't count as Phase 4 film.
Only Club Clash.
What about you, Dave? What are you looking forward to? What do you hope for?
I think there might be a Kang post credits, but I also wonder if I don't know if we're going to get a lot of variants, but I think this movie. I basically what I'm most curious about is who's going to be on what we're calling the Illuminati, but I think could be the Council of Kangs as well. We actually don't know. Right? Like we could maybe the Council of Kangs would be a big deal. Like if the multiverse is wide open now, and if Doctor Strange is fucked with it enough, those are the people who show up to shut you down, is the Council of Kangs. It's not.
Could you imagine if Patrick Stewart was an older Kang? Oh, instead of Xavier,
like we could see like Jonathan Majors and a bunch of other people playing Kang, right? Like just a bunch, so that it's like no.
I was going to say
it
doesn't have to always be the same. Like it could be anybody.
I mean, that's what I would like to see. I think ideally is that they want us to that's something Marvel kind of does every once in a while. It's like, oh, you think it's this, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you thought the Winter Soldier was the bad guy in Captain America 2. But who's behind the Winter Soldier? Oh, you hear Patrick Stewart's voice. Who do you think's behind that?
Yeah.
Or like when they brought Quicksilver into WandaVision for that.
Yeah.
That threw everybody off.
Doug Boner? What was it?
Yeah, Boner.
Todd.
Before I go, is there anything you don't want to see in the film?
There is one more thing that
I don't want to see feet in the film.
Yeah,
there is one more thing that I really want to see, and I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm pretty sure that there's no way in hell I'm going to get it. But I would love, like, if we're doing multiverse and we're doing different, like I would love to see some old characters that I thought were like long dead come back, and of those characters, I really would love to see Ulysses Claw come back, but I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
I just hate the fact that they shot him and killed him, and I'm like, I want him back. I want that character back in the MCU.
Well,
So bad.
he died and he moved and he went through the tunnel and woke up as Alfred on the other side,
Which was awesome, but
he was not used enough in that movie.
no, not at all. No.
So for me, I guess I'm looking forward. What I hope is that if this is a multiverse movie, I want to see a Watcher. If we're gonna be breaking all of these,
just Jeffrey Wright in big head makeup,
or just like a CG version, and just have him there. If you're going through
Even
all
in
of
like
these,
a post credit.
No, I want it in the film. I want
Like in
it
the film. Like actually. Okay.
I mean, we've seen other Watchers though. At the end, was it Guardians 1?
Guardians 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen
But
Watchers. So
like, I mean, if like it wouldn't be hard to have like all this crazy multiverse stuff happening, and then just like go through one multiverse and you just see this head go. You know,
And it's just
see what
Jeffrey
happened
Wright
over
doing,
here.
what the fuck?
there's so many jokes that they can put in. You know, like it's they'll never be able to
just
please.
make out with himself over here.
Yeah.
yeah.
What I know that they won't do, but I hope is that
Doctor Who. No.
is that they do they include the 70s Marvel stuff that we've seen, like the old Captain America, the old Lou Ferrigno.
When Captain America.
Like if he's
throws
going
his
through
mighty
multiverses,
shield.
I want to see all of that old shit. I know we're gonna just do multiverses with Doctor Strange, I assume, but that would be amazing. That's
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. I would love to see Blade, but I doubt it. What I don't want to see is what don't I want to see? There was something ahead of my head and I totally lost it.
I think we all think this movie is going to be way bigger than it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be way tighter than we realize.
Mhm.
It's going to be like three dimensions.
It's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, I heard that too.
It's not
How-
3 hours.
It's not 3 hours.
Oh,
I like long movies, so
Yeah.
I'd prefer longer.
It is 2 hours 6 minutes.
That's not long enough. My bladder won't hurt.
That's kind of short.
That's
Yeah.
shorter than
Yeah.
the regular average MCU film. It's
How long was the first Doctor Strange movie?
An hour
2
57.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The total with the credits, Doctor Strange.
I watched
You
it
just
today
watched
and
it.
that-
with
yeah.
the credits, it's 2:15 for Doctor Strange 1. So that's pretty short.
Is this with credits? I wonder if this is credits or not.
God, I hope 206 with
Man,
credits would be a nightmare.
I'm fine with a tight film though. Like
Yeah.
It's like
Sam-
the 80-minute Underworld 4.
80 minutes.
Oh God, I wanted my money back. I'm like, I paid for more than an 80-minute film.
Brent wants to see Dolph Lundgren as Punisher in this. I can't feel bad about that. That would be amazing.
I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I genuinely love the Tom Jane Punisher movie.
Me
That
too.
movie is phenomenal.
I love the little the laundry thing or whatever it was called, like the little short
yeah,
that
Laundry
they did.
Day. Yeah.
A laundry day. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
that was
Laundry
that was
Day was
amazing.
good. The actual movie, I wasn't that impressed
He-
with that. I
the-
remember watching with remember Donald from Multimedia?
yeah,
Eric?
yeah.
I was at the theater with
Now,
him
Hawk,
watching that
I
movie.
was 14 or 15 when that movie came out, and there was a lot of really cool gun violence.
There,
Well, when we were in the theater. We were like, if this,
I didn't see it in theaters.
we got to this part, like it was like 25 minutes, and then it's like, he turned to me and said, if he doesn't kill somebody in the next 2 minutes, I'm leaving.
there wasn't any real punishment until the end when he's dragging John Travolta. Like I thought that was such a cool.
Whoa,
scene.
no. When he gets the son and he hands him a grenade, and he's like, how good are you at calisthenics? And he's holding the
that's true.
grenade.
That's fair.
That's torture, dude.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
but
fair.
I also love when he takes the paper chopper thing off.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
like just takes that guy right down on the
I
head.
have to
I'm
watch
like,
this movie
that's-
again.
Yeah. You must be one dumb son of a bitch to bring
I
a knife
really
to a
like the
gunfight.
second one too. The second one was really good. Wasn't there a second Punisher film with him?
You
There
mean Punisher
was.
Warzone with Ray Stevenson?
Oh no, never
Yeah.
mind. I'm just thinking of that Laundry
I
Day.
mean, that
wasn't it?
movie is unadulterated, like violence porn, because he punches a man's face in that movie.
Oh, I know the next movie I was thinking.
Now,
about.
remember, Ray
When-
Stevenson was also one of the Warriors 3, and
Yeah. Oh no, I froze.
you did.
I did freeze. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm just thinking of Thomas Jane and how he eventually he stopped killing people and became vegan.
Full step,
Please, right? So
No vegan diet, no vegan powers. Gelato's not vegan. Milk and eggs, bitch.
Chicken parm's not vegan. Oh, anyway. All right.
What are we doing a Scott Pilgrim read through, Eric?
I want to do this movie again. I love that movie so much.
I'm down. I'm in.
Any other thoughts on the sequel before we get to? We're going to talk about it in 2 weeks. Or if you guys can make it, I'm going to go see it on the Friday. Yeah, because I can't see it on the Thursday because I have to do a Strange New Worlds review.
I think that's my first day of class.
Yeah.
Oh, that was supposed to be my what's good. I have a GPA of 3.8.
What?
Hey,
that's much better than drinking a centipede.
No, that was my what's bad, Eric.
Yeah, I know.
What's bad.
That's fair. All right. Steve wrote Ray Stevenson, the only true Punisher. What? John Bernthal.
John Bernthal was really good. Before we go, for homework for people, because The Northman is out, I would highly recommend seeing that. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it. But also, because we haven't seen enough Mads Mikkelsen, if you need more Mads Mikkelsen, because The Northman's out, go watch Valhalla Rising. That movie is fucking incredible.
That is such a good movie. So
good. Yeah.
So cool.
Sorry, what?
That's your Valhalla Rising.
Like how he barely speaks in that movie.
I think he says 2 words in the whole film.
Yeah, and
which
it's
is
so
a spoiler,
effective.
sort of, but yeah,
it's just god,
it's on Netflix.
so good.
Fucking incredible. Yeah, it's been on Netflix a long time. It's incredible.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Fuck, I watched that. I watched that a long time ago, and fuck, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Reefen Wending, the guy who did Drive, he directed that film.
Yeah.
So,
oh man. So I got to see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
I gotta see the Northman. I gotta see the Valhalla Rising, which I can probably watch tonight, and then Doctor Strange.
Sonic 2. I gotta watch Sonic 2 at some point.
Sonic 2.
My kid got a toy at McDonald's, and it's definitely a spoiler for Sonic 2. And I was like, "What the fuck? God damn it!"
Yep.
Do you remember? Was it last year or the year before? We were like, what was your best movie of the year before? And I was like, I guess mine's Sonic, and I forgot I'd seen 1917.
Sonic is a good movie, man.
Sonic is good, but it's not 1917.
That's true. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming and talking to us about Doctor Strange. We'll see you in 2 weeks to talk about more Doctor Strange. Do we need to watch What If before then? I feel like I should watch What If before.
I would watch the 1 episode probably.
Or before it.
The Doctor Strange one, right?
Yeah, it's episode. I had it open.
And the final episode, right?
I don't think you need to watch the final one.
And the one with the zombies. That one's pretty cool.
I hope.
Just watch it all. It's all good.
Just watch it.
I hope that the Sinister Strange from the What If is not in the movie. I hope that's a different one.
There have been rumors, some of the other characters, but then again, we don't know if they're substantiated at all. You know,
somebody, I'm not sure if it was Photoshop, but somebody like had zoomed in on like one of the poster things, and apparently there is like a half piece of like the Captain Carter shield. I don't know if it's real.
I think it's reasonable because clearly Shuma Gorath was in the trailer everybody's seen, right? And Shuma Gorath was almost certainly the villain in the 2 episodes of What If, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Man,
maybe they'll recap What If in the movie.
Maybe
Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, what if the movie opens with Jeffrey Wright narrating that?
I would die.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this movie, even more so. Anyway,
for a second I was like, this movie should have a crawl, and then I was like, no wait,
Jeffrey Wright
should narrate.
All right, goodbye everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Bye. Oh, Moon Knight Wednesday.
Bye guys.
And D&D tomorrow. D&D tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.